Good morning. Many thanks for attending today's cyber security webinar. My name is Mark Flynn and I'm your host for the webinar. Now, I work for Computer Care, a firm that specializes in cyber security solutions for small businesses, small and medium businesses in the London region. Let's take a quick look at the agenda. I think it's worth saying that cybercrime is big business, it's all pervasive and it's all around us. And you handle a lot of sensitive business data, client data, your own IP and so on. But it doesn't matter how much cyber insurance you carry, if you are responsible for leaking that sensitive data, then your business reputation is toast. So today, I want to bring this to life and look at how we can sensibly, cost effectively as business owners protect your organization. Let's take our work hat off for a second. On a personal level, in your personal lives, how many of you have been impacted by a cybersecurity incident? And I've got a couple there on the screen that you might have come across. On the left-hand side, we've got hi mum, hi dad WhatsApp scam, which is a neat little compelling little scam. And obviously on the right-hand side, we've got the classic kind of post office text scam. But I want to share with my own personal experience. And I have not hammed this up. I've not made it more dramatic. I was the victim of a £20,000 online banking scam. £20,000 of my own money I lost. I was absolutely mortified. It really impacted me in terms of my confidence and so on as an individual. Why me, for example? But hey, let's share a little bit more information about that. It still hurts. From talking to a Halifax fraud team and the Vodafone fraud team, it became apparent that I was the victim of a sophisticated SIM swap scam. So what happened was the attacker there at the top of the screen there, at 12 o'clock on the screen, the attacker had, how, don't know, but over time collected some personal identifiable information about my name, full name, my national insurance number, possibly my home address, etc. Enough personal identifiable information where they could then contact Vodafone and request a new SIM to be issued. The cyber criminals then poke that SIM into their burner phone, and my phone goes offline now. No service. Now they can then start receiving all the incoming calls and texts from Halifax, and the two-factor authentication codes that I would have received are now going to this burner phone that the cyber hackers have got, so they can now log into my online bank account and rinse my bank account of £20,000. As I said, absolutely mortified. It changed me as an individual. These things do. It's £20,000 of personal money. I earned money, earned money. Anyway, I've learned from that, and some of what I'll share with you today is a result of that. Don't do what I did. Let's look at other types of fraud that you might fall victim to. How many of you use online dating apps? I think some of us do. Let's talk about what sextortion and catfishing is all about. It's somebody in one of these online apps, in one of these online forums, an attractive man or a woman starts wanting to engage with you in some romantic relationship and asks you to share some pictures of yourself. Do so, and unfortunately the cyber criminal then flips that and says they'll share those compromising pictures of you, those nude pictures of you with your friends or colleagues, unless you stamp up that £10,000 worth of Bitcoin. Why would I be so naive? Why would I be so naive in sending nude pictures to a stranger on some online forum? It happens. And again, it comes back to why me? Why are they attacking me? Like with my situation, why not go after the big fish? Why not go after Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk? These people got a lot more money than I've got. But they come in after us. They are coming after small people, little people, small businesses. Let's look at a true story about catfishing. This is an example of a small accounting firm in London. Was targeted by sextortion. In this case, one of the partners. One of the partners recently got divorced, want to get back in the game of finding a relationship and start dating, and used one of these dating apps. Unfortunately for them, they used their company email address as part of their registration. That was their email address. The cyber criminal popped them, demanded £10,000 worth of Bitcoin ransom. Otherwise, they released those compromising pictures, those new pictures of me, a partner of this accounting firm, on the dark web, or release them to my friends and colleagues. The firm refused to pay, quite rightly. The photos were released, causing significant damage to that partner's reputation, and the firm's credibility. Again, why this small accounting firm? Why not go after the multinationals? They've got a lot more money to stump up if they get caught due to a ransomware attack. But hey, that's the way it is. Last year, in 2022, cyber criminals defrauded the world of $6 trillion. Now, if you look at that in terms of GDP, that makes cybercrime the third largest country after the US and China. It's important, that we stop thinking of cyber criminals as opportunistic script kiddies. The cybercrime industry has all the normal attributes of any other industrial sector, including they have online markets, they have outsourced service providers, they have niche providers, they have integrated supply chains, and employ very clever people with credible MBAs and PhDs. Let's talk about crime as a service, where we have software as a service subscriptions licenses for the likes of Microsoft 365. They have in their industry crime as a service. Take, for example, where we have eBay. They have marketplaces like Alphabet. Where we have recruitment sites, so do they. And they put many of the recruitment sites that we see in the legit world to shame in terms of the sophistication and how they conduct themselves, because they only want to employ the best people. They have sophisticated channel marketing programs and franchise models built along similar lines to what you see with McDonald's and KFC. Of course they would. It's the way to run a good business. And like any good organization, they'll run promotional campaigns to their target audience. This is a highly sophisticated industry with very little to distinguish it from any other legit business sector. Now, nations like Russia laud these successful cybercrime businesses, giving them an air of legitimacy. Take, for example, we've got Maxim Yakubets here, head of the Evil Group. Yes, it's called the Evil Group. It's quite comical, but it wasn't so scary. One of the largest successful ransomware businesses in the world. The Evil Group and Maximum have strong connection with the FSB and the Russian government. And let me explain what I mean by that. If you look here, we've got Maximum here on the left-hand side, married the daughter of Edward Bansky, a TV personality and former FSB or KGB and oil money executive, but also runs a private military contracting firm on similar lines to Wagner, which is until recently fighting in the Ukraine-Russian war. This simple fact demonstrates the direct connection between the cybercrime world and the Russian state. But I'm sure you're still asking yourself the question, why would anyone come after our firm? You might think you're a small fish, a very small fish in a very large pond, and you do everything on the cloud, You haven't got any IT stuff, you've just got a bunch of laptops and you do everything in the cloud, Now, what I want to do in this graphic is demonstrate to you that cybercrime criminals are attacking and focused on small businesses, not large enterprises. If you look here in the top left-hand corner there, we've got the dark grey and the lighter grey there. That represents those businesses, large enterprise businesses, that are being impacted by ransomware attacks. The remainder, through to the yellow and red sectors there, represent the fact that the organization being impacted by ransomware are small, medium businesses, very much like ourselves. They're coming after you, not the big multinational organizations. They're relying on the fact that you haven't got the budget to employ those armies of clever cybersecurity professionals, and you haven't got those deep pockets to invest in some sophisticated technology. That's what they're betting on, They're coming after you. your easy money. They can come after small businesses at scale. And I'm sure you've got cyber insurance in place, but trust me, it's no silver bullet. Let's look at what happens when your business gets taken down by or gets hit by a cyber incident. You call the cyber insurance provider and invoke the policy. The incident response team comes in, fantastic. They come in promptly, they'll put the fire out, and they'll work to get your business back up and running as quickly as possible. Now, that's brilliant. That's exactly what you paid for. But the next thing they do is look for the root cause. And once they find that root cause, they then look for negligence. They're looking for opportunities not to pay out. Your job, and by association, our job, is to implement a cyber security strategy that can demonstrate and convince the insurance firm that you are doing everything possible to protect your business. Now, let's ask a very simple emotive question. How long have you been in business for? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Yeah. Your legacy that you've built up over that period of time, yeah, is on the line. If you are the cause of client information leakage, that could be devastating for your small business. It's fact. Let's move on to the 3 most common cybersecurity threats that you'll be facing. Number 1, always is, ransomware attacks. That's closely followed by the rocket fuel for ransomware attacks, which is phishing attacks, yeah, and weak passwords. Let's start by looking at ransomware attacks. When was the last time you heard of a good old-fashioned bank heist, a bank robbery? Yeah, we had gnarly old criminals, yeah, going into a basement, drilling through walls, blowing safes, yeah, and stuffing all that cash into the transit van and squealing down the high street. Yeah, just doesn't happen any longer. The reason is because everybody's moving into cybercrime. It's a lot easier than good old-fashioned bank robbery. They can buy ransomware as a service, meaning they don't have to be a techie to become a successful hacker these days. As a criminal, you get great customer service from these RAS providers. These are sophisticated businesses. You'll get even better service from them than you get and experience from Amazon today. Yeah, they want 5-star rating reviews because that's good for business. Fact. Now, we've always considered ransomware to be something where a hacker breaks into your business, encrypts your data, and holds your ransom over that. But now, you know, cyber criminals are always one step ahead of us all. It's our job just to make sure that one step ahead isn't too far ahead of us. And now they're looking at double and triple extortion. Let me just explain a little bit about that. Hackers are getting into your network and walking the digital corridors of your business, looking at your data, looking at your financials, looking at your vulnerabilities. They then make their move and launch that ransomware attack. So now you refuse to pay because you've been told to buy your cyber insurance firm, and actually you're going to start restoring from backups. But what you don't know is that, yes, they've encrypted your data, but they also siphoned all of your data off into off-site into the cloud. Yeah, now they've got all your data, and they say, fine, don't pay. What we're going to do is leak all this information onto the dark web. You pay up. Triple extortion, that goes a little bit further, where they'll contact your clients and threaten them if you don't pay up, because they've got your data, they look at your data, these are sophisticated businesses, they know who your clients are, bang, they're picking up the phone, they're contacting them, they're telling them that we're holding your supplier, your service provider, to ransom. Yeah, you just don't want to do it. This could be detrimental to your organization. Let's move on to phishing attacks. There's many flavors of phishing attacks. We've got spear phishing, we've got business email compromises, identity spoofing, etc. 90% of all cyber security attacks actually start with a phishing email. So 90% of all ransomware attacks start with a phishing email. 1 in 3 employees are likely to click on a phishing email because they can't differentiate between a good email and a bad email. 3.4 billion phishing emails are sent out daily. You do the maths a third of that 3.4 billion are being clicked on. That's bad for business. That's really scary stuff. We bring it into life a little bit with what we do to help clients and not fall foul in this fashion. On the screen there, you can see a typical friendly phishing attack email we send out as part of our phishing training service. So end users or your employees can be able to easily spot a phishing attack. Now, the average click rate we see for this spoofed company email is 38%. 38% of your people will click on this email and infect their device and put your business at risk. That is despite obvious clues. For example, what we've got here, top left-hand corner, an unknown sender. Yeah, that should be a red flag. We should have picked up on that. And also down there, we've got a URL we've been asked to click on, which bears no relation to who we are as a business, what we subscribe to, and service that we offer. Yeah, that should be another red flag. Let's talk about weak passwords, because this really is a biggie. 82% of workers are reusing the same password credentials across their different systems they use. It happens far too often, yeah? However much we tell people, it's still a common fact. We've got so many different business applications we use to, and I think personally, I'm using 10 to 15 different business applications on a regular basis, and I don't have the same password on any of those. Yeah, I have complex 16-digit passwords on every different unique passwords on every application I use. On the dark web, we'll find over 500,000 exposed Zoom credentials, but Zoom has never been cracked. It's never had a data breach. It is because hacked passwords from whatever random application will be put into a stuffing list and point at the thousands of business applications like Zoom that are out there. And if they get a hit, that password being reused, they'll sell that to the highest bidder on the dark web. Office 365 is probably the biggest and easiest attack surface for cyber criminals to get into your business right now. They're getting hold of your compromised credentials because you're reusing passwords all the time. And then we have our friends, yeah, from Russia and China that are buying those credentials and logging into your business. The first thing you'll do is create a forwarding rule on your mailbox. So every single one of your emails gets forwarded to them. Yeah. And if you're an FD, if you're a business owner, if CEO, if you're a senior person within the organization, that could be a massive problem for you. The second thing they'll do is send a weaponized email to everyone in your business. I come in the next day, yeah, I see an email from my colleague, yeah, nice chap, like that person, yeah, I'll click in it, bang, my system is infected as well. Wow. It's a tough gig. It's a tough world. You have to protect your business out there. It's a bit of a wild west, but there's some stuff that we can do which are practical, yeah, simple, no cost, low cost stuff you should be doing to protect, or doing at all possible to protect your business. So I'm going to share with you 5 top practical steps, yeah, business owners should be adopting to protect the business. Let's start with step 1. And I've broken this down into 4 because I wanted to cluster these together because they're low cost, no cost solutions or initiatives you should be taking up. Let's talk about firewalls. It's important that you are regularly checking for all unused open ports on your firewall. Think of it as if you were checking to see if you've left the front of your house open for the last 5 years. For example, you might have moved your email server into the cloud, but that old port for the on-premise email server could still be open, which could be exploited. So please take the time to review all open ports and ask yourself if you really need them open. Minimal exposure is the name of the game. Let's talk about antivirus. You've got to make sure your AV software is centrally managed. Even if you run a small operation with just a handful of laptops, yes, centrally managing your antivirus software is a must. Picture this. one of your employees is working from home and encounters a message flagged to it by the AV software. It might be that this is an at-risk email that they've received, yeah, but they ignore it and they carry on because they're busy people. And what they don't do is notify any of the colleagues who might be in the office or somewhere else, yeah, which puts everybody at risk in your organization because nobody knows this has gone on. I haven't communicated. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, but I haven't communicated this. I should be. Now, to avoid such scenarios, ensure that all AV alerts are centrally reported, allowing your IT person to take prompt action. Let's move on. MFA or multi-factor authentication. No exceptions, no debate. Make sure you implement MFA across your whole organization. It's free. Microsoft provided free. 98% of all cyber attacks can be prevented by simply enabling MFA. That is such a super start. Be a hero, do it. It's free. Let's talk about disaster recovery. Backups alone don't cut it. Make sure you have a plan that outlines how your employees should operate during a disaster, including how they'll access their files, apps, and emails. Yeah, users need to know what to do, even if you've got a complete outage, and make sure you communicate this plan to everyone in the company. And also, with regards to disaster recovery, make sure you've got an air gap between your files and your backup. You've got to make sure it's difficult for the hacker who's going to come in and encrypt all your files, yeah, that they haven't got equally easy access to your backup system. Let's move on to step 2. Make sure your business is invisible on the internet. The most important thing you must do is make sure your business is invisible to hackers by separating your business from the internet. Hackers cannot hack what they can't see. To achieve this, you need to implement a zero trust network. This is what the biggest organizations and government agencies have been doing for a while now. Now, the thing is, you can now do it too, easily and very cost effectively. Let's talk about education. You've got to invest in phishing training and provide your people with the life skills, and I talk about them in life skills, that will enable them to avoid falling foul of cybercrime in their professional personal lives. Let's talk about life skills. And I like to draw a comparison. You can boil an egg, you can make a cup of tea, you can make beans on toast. What a superstar, yeah? You've got to treat being able to spot phishing emails in your personal life as well as your professional life just like one of those life skills. It's so important. Take it seriously. Yeah, they'll protect your business. Let's talk about the dark web tracking. It's important to remember, yeah, I said this earlier on, that 90% of all cybersecurity breaches are due to stolen credentials. You've got to protect your identity by constantly checking the dark web for any of your firm's usernames and passwords that are being traded on the dark web. Yes, you've got free applications or services such as Have I Been Pawned, which allows you to log in to check manually whether your credentials are being traded. Yeah. Alternatively, you can use a piece of software that we use, which is Dark Web ID from Datto as a service, where we're constantly 24/7 checking the credentials of all the employees of your organization to see whether they've been traded up on the dark web. Finally, step number 5, introduce a 24/7 managed SOC or Security Operations Center. You've got to understand that cyber criminals don't respect office hours. They'll attack your business at any point or any time. You've got to assume that someone has already broken in or is about to break into your organization and is going to walk the digital corridors of your business looking for ways to exploit you. You need a crack team of experts backed up with AI tools that can identify 24/7 who is attacking you, and if they do break in, to track them down and seal off the problem so they never happen again. So that's the 5 practical steps you should take away and look to adopt within your organization. So now let's simply look at what do we do next. Now, it's a fine line, isn't it, between scaring somebody and educating somebody with regards to the topic of cybersecurity. And hopefully today it's been more of an education, not kind of oh gosh, the sky's falling in experience. So what can we do? What can we offer? We've got a free security assessment you can take advantage of. It's something you want to move forward with. No obligations. Yeah, you can use the report and take it to your current IT provider to adopt, or whatever you want to do with it. Yeah, you just might be interested in looking at what you might have invested recently in a lot of tech. You might want to use this as a means of seeing whether it's in the best place to protect your organization. We drop a bit of code, we drop some code, some scripts onto your estate. Yeah, and what we get is a nice graphical RAG report of what you need to look at based on the 5 practical steps, plus a lot of other stuff. It's a great report, yeah, and it's easy to digest, but it's got all the detail in there as well. So something of high value you might want to take advantage of. Secondly, get our ebook. Yeah, I've talked about the 5 practical steps for SME owners. This ebook complements that. You've got the link for it. You would have received that as part of the invite to this webinar. If you haven't, just drop me a line. I'll resend that link to you. Again, something you can distribute. It's easy to read. It's aimed at business owners. No techie jargon in there. It'll give you a bit of a roadmap of what you need to do to get your business in a good place with regards to cybersecurity. And that's it. Hopefully you got some good value out of it. We're running a series of webinars on cybersecurity, AI automation, smart technology, and hybrid working over the coming months. If you're interested, please get in contact. Watch out for the invites, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.